Yo,
Yeah.
yo, yo,
Yeah. Woo.
yeah.
Yeah. That's right. You see the signs. We all know what's about to happen. It was a good weekend. Well, it was a bad weekend, then it was a good weekend. But in our bracket challenge, I survived. Also, yes, I'm in first place, but most available points, which we will also dive into whatever happened to the Baron. But just so you know, go ahead and just screenshot it right now. You're looking at them right now. Thank you for joining us. Happy Monday. Hope you guys enjoyed the first weekend. But I mean, besides the tournament contest, as much as I did, I was talking to a couple people today at work, just either employees or random customers, whatever, that kind of had the same. I was like, I don't know how excited I'm going to be for this, but once it came on, I've been like, all right, this just feels right. It just feels
Oh
right.
yeah, oh yeah,
So
yeah.
it was a nice
You can't
weekend,
not get in. You can't not get into it once it gets going.
especially with a year off. I mean that part was you
True,
don't realize how much you miss it, kind of thing. But
true.
Tyler, how are you doing on this Monday? Well, I know how your bracket's doing. We'll get into that, but
Cool. Oh yeah. No, you know what? Doing good, man. Definitely enjoyed the weekend. Just tons of basketball, NCAA wrestling championships. Uh, whole lot of nothing, whole lot of sitting around just watching sports. So it's all good. Plus my Wolverines, the last man standing in the Big Ten. So that's a good thing. But Ronnie, how you doing, man?
well, I also, to back you up, I feel like that would be satisfying because the Big Ten was like
It is
super
satisfying.
gassed up coming into this tournament, like it's the toughest conference in basketball, and everyone's just like crapping out.
Everybody
But
loses, yeah.
you can always tell a Michigan man, you know, they're stout, they play the right way.
That's
Obviously, they're
right.
hanging on. But I am doing well. Uh, Not too bad of a Monday at the bank. Usually Mondays, sucks. In this case, not bad. And
Good,
tomorrow I got the
good.
day off. Probably run out, maybe play some golf somewhere if I can find it um, on the cheap. You know how I roll. But overall, just enjoying. Kind of actually not ideal, but I wouldn't have like any of the days off anyway. That the second round carries over into Monday because now you can watch some of those games too. So it's all
Mm-hmm.
been kind of pushed back a day because I had to do the play-in games at the same place, which normally I don't do. But I've been enjoying the tournament. Besides, the bracket thing, that's mostly just to troll you guys. But
True.
as far as I'm concerned, I like sitting around. The first 2 days always amazing. Like that, just the enjoyment of that. Just like there's 4 games on all the time, all day. Like there's nothing better than that. So then when you get into like some kind of bracket thing or betting, whatever, and we will get into the betting, entertainment purposes only.
Better
But
believe that. You better
we
believe
do
that.
have a special guest coming up here on the hotline shortly. But no, I came around to it pretty quickly. Like I said, I don't know anything about these teams. Like there's
Doesn't
teams
matter.
that they played like 16 games, and this team played like 31 games. Like who knows what's going to happen? And obviously nobody knows because Pac-12 randomly killing it, Big Ten randomly sucking ass.
Yeah, definitely a tough look. I mean, I like I said, I think I even said it on here last week. I didn't pick a single Pac-12 team to win a game in the tournament, and the Pac-12 just finally lost their first game hours
I
ago. Like,
I would root for UCLA, honestly. Like that would be the team that I would pick. And I've seen probably like 4 or 5 games, enough to know that they're not good, and they just keep
yeah,
winning. Like there's no reason why I would ever believe in them. But hey, keep doing your thing, UCLA. Let's go.
there you go.
Let's bring the banner back.
Leading towards a possible Michigan UCLA Elite Eight matchup.
Oh God, that'll be incredible. We will live stream the entire show. But real quick, before we get into some of the other things, uh, good friend of the program, Mr. Will Galvez, former
Will
guest. And
Galvez.
Will Galvez. Cartwright, can you pour this guy a shot? Had himself a very interesting weekend, and there is a super, shining light at the end of it. But I do want to bring him on because, as you know, with the tournament, like I said, I was kind of hesitant at first, but then I got immediately swept up into like the fever of the bracket, the betting, whatever it is. Like you have games on all day, upsets galore, whatever it is. So I do want to bring into the program now, and all handicappers on the program are sponsored by Arkansas Slims, legitimate sportsbook. Please believe that. And he will hunt you down. I mean, obviously pay your tab because he will find you. And he will kill you.
Win or lose, he will hunt you down.
But joining us on the program now, Mr. Will Galvez. Will, how the hell are we doing today?
Oh, man. Ron and Tyler, what's up? Before we get into this, I'm just curious. Where I live at, it's like an apartment complex, and this has really nothing to do with March Madness, but I have to get this off my chest. I don't know what your guys' stance is or are on delivery drivers, because I don't live in the most necessarily easiest of complexes to get into. But what's really fascinating about the app itself is that you can put directions saying, hey, this is my code, #, blah, 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 blah. And then I like to send a message, hey, did you receive the instructions? Just so I don't have to leave, because I have to like go through a bunch of flight of stairs. It's quite a mission. And
right.
Yeah, so I just had myself a Mission Impossible 4 right now, trying to get my Chick-fil-A. This message is brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Not a sponsor, but you could be Chick-fil-A. Do the right thing.
You could be. Yeah.
Do the right thing. No, man, it just took way, way too long. It's not that I'm perturbed. I know these are essential workers. I like to deem the medical workers and the delivery service industry, considering now that we just opened up, but even before this, they were very important. But God, man, I don't know why I was so tweaked about that. But I wasn't as tweaked about that over this weekend. Ron and Tyler, I know for a fact that you were just like me and probably didn't do too much other than sit on your couch or wherever your TV is set up and consume as much college basketball as possible, because I think we really, really had to make up for what we missed last year.
I didn't 100% realize how much especially the first weekend is always one of my favorite things in all of sports. Like I like that more than the Super Bowl, probably any other event. Those 2 days, it's just like incredible. If you can get a day off from work and just sit like on the normally it's Thursday, Friday, and get one of those days all day. I'm just like, this is amazing. Like everything. And now, with the apps, or if you have cable, you can just like flip back and forth. Like, oh, this one's getting close. Like 2 teams. I don't even care what's happening, but like you're just immediately sucked in. So it happened to me again. I fell into the trap. And I'm not ashamed of it, because it is like one of the best things ever to happen in the sports calendar every year. But
is it a trap if you willingly go into
it? No, you can't rape the willing. I think that's a fact. So I'll just take it. I'll accept it. Look, man, I'll own it. But it's I sign up for it every year, and I love it every year. And I didn't know what it was going to be after a year off, but it's still pretty much the same kind of just like pure joy of just like games, wall to wall, all day, every day for that first weekend.
Well, Ron, really fast, how did you feel about the new setup? And you, Tyler, as well. I just think was kind of pissed. I like the traditional, and I understand that the tournament itself wasn't regionalized. So it's not like we had people at the Honda Center or the Staples Center, and then someone at MSG, and then someone in the Midwest. I guess I can appreciate that they pulled it off. I was very, very happy, because there was times this weekend where I thought, how the fuck did we get through this? Not get through this last year.
Yeah, I was nervous about it, honestly. But
But having games on all today, it seemed a little cramped, but at the same time, we dig, like you mentioned in your open, you got that fix, like, yes,
Just like the, just hook it to my veins.
Inject it into my veins.
Yep.
But we have to talk about, and again, entertainment purposes only. Again,
please believe that.
Please believe that. I do not want to get sued. But friend of the program, Will, had an amazing weekend. Actually, we'll get into yesterday what happened shortly after. But just for people that do not know, the viewers out there, so Will, this is what we call a heater, my friends, all weekend. For better or worse, Saturday kind of, ran off the rails a little bit because of unforeseen circumstances. But just kind of walk us through. As you know, we love parlays on this show. Bring the parlays, go big, take overs. Like we're down for that. But Will set up actually what turned out to be a great bet on Saturday. And how did that play out?
Well, before I get into that, Friday, because that game you're talking about, so the Oregon VCU game prevented me from going 6-0 on Friday night. So that was kind of one of the hottest hands I've had. Now, that wasn't a particular parlay. That was kind of just picks that on my podcast, WOTM, What's on the Menu Daily, that we put out for, obviously content-wise, and obviously I want to enhance my bank account by some degree. So I thought, okay, going into Saturday, finally, like where we were at, we're at my girlfriend's house, and her dad's, Ron, just like yours, has all the TVs set up. And we were indulging in a lot of, let's just say there was some liquids being consumed. And there
It happens.
Exactly. Yeah. So there was definitely that aspect to it. But going into it, I just thought, okay, look, we have a lot of the number one seeds. And the biggest thing that kind of threw me off from Friday was the fact that I don't know what hit harder, the fact that it's like, holy shit, we have March Madness, or the goddamn upset bug. Dude, what? I mean, I don't know how your guys' brackets are, because I'm a degenerate. So not only did I have parlays and picks, I also had 2 other brackets. I had Illinois to win. So starting off that day, my bracket was basically busted, and I thought, wow, well, it can't get much worse than this. So I was like, just the law of averages, the way the gambling universe works. I think anyone, and even all of us at some point, thought this has to be a type of day where all of the favorites are going to come through. Like, it's just how it works. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't question the gods of gambling, but it's crazy.
No, never do it. Never do it. They will smite you.
It's like the Umbrego ground. So, I'm in a text group with Ron, and I just, I always send it to the guys or whoever I'm with, whether it's old workmates or guys I went to college with. I always have a joke that says positive vibes, and right below it is the picture of the parlay. Now, I would not recommend 7-teamers to a lot of people, but I have to say that the exhilaration that I received and just the amount of oh my God, moments all throughout the day on Saturday was absolutely amazing. So, here's what I had. I had Baylor money line, Oral Roberts. Shout out to Oral. Everyone loves Oral. Plus 8.5.
I love it.
Oregon State, who I have to say, I heard your little.
Got you.
There it is. Oregon State over Villanova, Syracuse, Arkansas, Oregon State. Really fast in the Pac-12. Guys, I want to be guilty just like you. I did not expect a lot at all for them to come into the tournament. And you have UCLA that just advanced today. USC is playing right now, and they're smoking Kansas.
Yeah, they're up big right now.
And then Oregon State. Look, everyone loves college basketball. How many of us are watching the Beavers night in and night out? Not a lot. So
go Beavs.
You look at this. I mean, Baylor. I just thought, okay, them and Gonzaga could be the number one seed that really doesn't have a problem. So they played Wisconsin on Saturday, and they had a guy, I think his name was Matthew something. Sorry with an M. Should have done my homework. My guy had a stronger mullet than probably Joe Dirt and Mike Gundy combined. So I thought, man, this guy is an absolute winner. Played defense, was great off the dribble, and got all the rebounds. just like that. Yeah. It was very reminiscent of that. So they were able. So when they started that, I thought, okay, this could be a pretty good game. And then Oral Roberts, my buddy Dale, who I co-host with on WOTM, a beloved Ohio State fan, he is still crushed from getting smoked. Not smoked, but losing to Oral Roberts. So Oral Roberts was able to cover. I just thought, I want to ride the hot hand. Oregon State, Oklahoma State. You had Cade Cunningham, who is probably the best player in the Big 12. He's probably going to go to the draft. And then Oregon State, who's just one of those teams that caught fire at the right time. Villanova completely throttled North Texas, so that was really good. Here's the next question, crazy ones. The Syracuse-Arkansas ones were the ones that are tripping me out. And although I'm really pissed still that Syracuse beat my Aztecs, I got to give it to Buddy Buckets because of how
he's chucking.
Lethal of a shooter he is. I mean, is he going to go with the NBA at this point? His stroke is incredible.
At this point, he has at least, I'm not going to say he's going to get drafted, but he's probably going to get signed at least. This audition right here in this tournament, he's probably going to get some kind of money, like a, non-draft invitee, whatever, to camp, whatever. He's going to get signed. I think he's played his way into that.
And it was crazy because they started the game, he just drills a three. So at this point, I thought, wow, maybe this is some good momentum. So, like I said, I'll go back in order really fast. Just Baylor hits, Oral Roberts does well. Villanova fucking waxes them. Arkansas, that was an interesting one against Texas Tech. I was kind of sweating that out. So then as soon as all these covered, I thought, wow, this never happens. Like, Ron, Tyler, you guys have done thousands of parlays, I'm sure.
The stars are aligning right now.
Yes, you get past the second, you get to the third, and you get burned. Or the worst feeling, you have a big parlay, and the first team just burns it for you. So at this point,
honestly, I'd rather lose. If I'm going to lose, I'd rather lose the first one. But that's just me.
I'm kind of in the same boat though, because at least it's rip the Band-Aid off. All right, dude, I'm screwed. Whatever. If you get down to the last one, again, we've already talked about it. I had a terrible experience with the freaking Cowboys and Steelers, where everything lined up. I was like, dude, this is the one I feel most confident about. That's why I put it at the end. I got fucked up. So that is worse to me. But if you just get knocked out at the beginning, it's it sucks, but then you don't have to care about it anymore for the rest of the day.
And that's how psycho I am. And I don't know if this is the ongoing effect of being a San Diego sports fan, whether it's with the Chargers, the Padres. I just thought, you know what, I can handle misery. So Ron and Tyler, I think I'm the opposite. I think I like going. I love the comments popping up. I think I like going into my last leg thinking this could be it. And there's something about it where I just go, ooh. But anyways, hold on. I have tabs just popping up all over my
Arkansas Slim is hacked into your VPN.
That's it. Yeah, he wants some of the money.
Sorry. My computer just got a shout out Apple. No, but anyways, long story short, I like going into that last leg. So then we had Oregon State and Oklahoma State. Ron, this is where I started texting you. So I remember going into the game, I said, okay, we're going to go one at a time. Obviously, I want to seed the over. So I thought at the time, 140.5, you basically need 70 points a half, and you need at least 35 to 30-ish per team. It can vary. So Oregon State just comes out punching them in the mouth. So I'm like, okay, well, now the line is looking really good because at one point they had a 12-point lead. So then I started getting worried because I thought the under was going to hit, and I thought, okay, Oklahoma State can just get on some sort of rhythm. They kind of do that to close the half, and in the second half, I'm thinking, okay, Oregon State is leading this entire game. The line is kind of my best friend right now. If I'm going to close this deal, I have to reel in this over. And I would say, I think Ron was texting you about 3.5 minutes left. I mean, they were within 8 or 9 points of hitting the over. They get to it, and I was just like, yes, let's go. I had to take a lap. It was I drank a beer again after.
I knew when you texted me that, I was like, dude, +6, you're good on that because there's no way they're going to lose by more than 6.
Yeah,
and I thought that over was going to hit too, but the same thing you said, I was like, Oklahoma State, they got to start just kicking in a little bit here, make some shots, score some points because they went on a huge drought where it was
yes. they have to contribute. There was, I want to say, 4 minutes of game time where they had no points. And I thought, okay, again, spread looking pretty good. And that's good in our part. Because I've had multiple times where I had smaller parlays where like I had the over, I doubled down with the team, and it never hit. So with this, I thought, Kate Cunningham is going to the NBA. Like, this guy has to score. And he turns it on. And then it's just like, oh, God. I mean, Rod, Tyler, I know you guys have felt this at some point. When you're about to close on one, you're sitting on that final game. It's just like, can the clock just keep ticking, please? Like, just keep going, please. Like, at this point, I just want to see this bleed as much time as possible. And it does, and I was super stoked.
That was, when you texted me that, I was like, dude, I feel like you got this. Like, if you're already 5 legs down, 6 legs in, like, you got it. I feel like it's going to happen, but then you always, like you said, kind of, I was not nervous about the +6. That was already locked up. The 140, maybe until it got to like 3 or 4 minutes left, I was kind of like, I don't know. But then it became clear that was going to happen, and I was just like super pumped up for you.
Well, it's funny too. So as I mentioned, me and Dale did this whole thing for What's on the Menu, where we had a lot of content over the weekend where we spent a good amount of time the week before recording, previewing, researching. So we had this little competition of who would finish hotter. So at one point he was kicking my ass going into the weekend, and I was like, oh my God, like the first 4 killed me. That Texas Southern game, I think, with the Mount and then Norfolk and that whole thing didn't do too hot. And then, Friday rolls around. I'm like, oh my goodness. So to finish strong, it was, it's crazy. And Ron, I'm one of those guys, like, I just like to see the zeros on the clock. So at one point I had it sewn up. It's like, I want to see it official. And then obviously look at my account and just see the green. You can see the red go to green. Like, yes, let's go.
Yep. So there
Tyler,
was one thing.
Go ahead, because I know Tyler has an interesting. I feel like maybe could have been more opportunity for you there, but I'll let Tyler explain.
Yeah. So this one, because Ron showed me this last night, and the first thing I said, I mean, obviously, hey, congratulations on the win. Never gonna knock that.
Hell of a bet.
But I got it. I always got issues with people taking the favorites money line because it's a coward's win. It's a win, but it's a coward's win.
Yeah.
Baylor covered. Baylor covered too. Baylor covered. You could have probably had a little more money, a little more return on that.
I could have. I definitely could have, and I appreciate you bringing that up because that was brought some attention from other people as well. I think I was just at the time I felt under the gun, and I just thought, okay, if I can just lock up some, like the win-loss record in terms of picks. I was like, okay, a gimme, Baylor money line, you got to. And even though, and the spread kind of tripped me out for some of that game because there was a point where Wisconsin went on this run, and you're thinking, oh my God, it's just another upset of the 1 seed. What is going on? And then they were able to capitalize. So, it is what it is, and I'll be a better man for it. So thank you for bringing that to my attention today.
Hey, like I said, man, I can't knock the win at all, but just that was the first thing I noticed was like, God, he could have done better, but you know what? You take the win, right? You take the money every time.
Similar to the professional ranks, there's no such thing as sexy wins. You get the win.
Yeah.
It's a win.
A win is a win.
Or a loss, right? That's it. Yeah, hey, true
We're
words.
moving
true
on to
words.
the next one.
Yes, and look, guys, I'm just glad it's here. It was tough. It was so tough last year. Obviously, I'm a very hardcore San Diego State fan. So for March Madness not to happen, and then we finally saw it, it's, oh my God. Yeah. I mean, doesn't it feel like it was 3 years ago that we had it? I mean, that was awful. But I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, until this first game, like the first 4 kicked off this, when they did it, Thursday? They put them all in one day.
Yeah.
It seemed like, okay, well, we had a year without it. But once you started getting the feeling back of watching them all, I was like, yeah, like exactly what Will said. Like, it's been forever, like, since this, like,
yeah, just
the experience of watching them all at the same time. Like, we've been missing this. Like, we've been starved for this.
And you know what it was, too? I'm glad that first day. So, like when you have all of those, like you can see right. I don't know if you guys are watching the game, but like you see like the scoreboard tab at the top, and it's flashing different scores. When they have like 8 of those at once, and they're all
It's
just
so good.
changing. Oh my god, there's something about that just. I might have to crack another cold one. No, I'm just
That's
kidding.
the only like really when all the games are going on, like the only thing that can even approach being at like a Vegas sports book. Like when you see that, like you can watch them all on the app, you can watch them on TV, whatever you're watching it on. When they're all coming down to the wire, you feel like you're there, like at like, oh dude, I'm gonna watch like 5 games at one time. Like,
oh yeah, it's funny. Like a couple years ago, I had a bunch of roommates, so we were all graduated at this point, but when we had the March Madness, we had the college setups where we had unmounted TVs and went to Target, bought TVs, returned them. We're using computer screen. It obviously was the most ghetto.
Got an iPad over here, like just
we're an airplane or whatever you call it on a one screen, and then. Oh my God. So to have that sense, I've never been to Vegas during March Madness, and I really want to because as degenerate as I know I am, I cannot imagine some of those fools that are practicing free throw shots when their team needs to cover or something like that. Those people do exist.
We gotta hit the free throws.
I feel the same way. I know I texted Ron a lot about once the brackets got released, I was like even if I just go to Vegas, like just go on like a Wednesday night and lay some bets and drive back the next day, like
yes.
But
Tyler was he was struggling with it pretty hard. He was like, I just want to go. Like I feel like I should.
Yeah.
Like everything is calling me to go there.
Oh yeah. For me, there's 3 Vegas things on a bucket list. Like you have to go to Vegas for it: New Year's Eve, Super Bowl, and March Madness. I've done the first 2. March Madness is the only one I haven't done yet. I want to sit down, just chug beers, and look at that on the gambling screen right there. That is just beautiful.
Oh yeah, yeah. I went. The most recent. I went in October, and this was during the weird time when the World Series and NBA Finals were done at once.
Oh,
so I think there, and then the NFL, it was like the sports equinox where like all the planets have lined up, and you're like, wow, how is this even possible right now? I'm going to take advantage. And it was definitely an experience, and I just can't even imagine March Madness. That has to be the craziest. That or like the Kentucky Derby.
I think, because I'll see guys like down in the sports book at like 1 a.m. like betting on chariot races. I'm like, I don't even know what this is, but like, respect, dude. This guy's an OG. Like, I don't even know.
See, is that a problem? If you have chariot races or darts or I don't know, Nebraska corn go-kart racing. There was some crazy things you see. I think I respect them.
Charles Barkley said it best. It's only a problem if you can't afford it. That's straight up facts. Mm-hmm. So, hey, I err on the side of like, they know what they're doing. Like, it looks kind of like shady to me, but hey, all power to you, bro.
Go down there and bet on like the the Slovenian soccer league, and they hand you your gambling ticket and a pamphlet for 1-800-GAMBLER hotline.
Yeah, bass fishing. Like, let's see. No, there's tons.
I got a huge Bassmasters parlay coming up. I'm going to hit you with the winners. For Bassmasters, I'm at 65% this year. It's a stone cold lock. Call 1-900-RON. Hit me up.
This message is brought to you by
just 1-900-RON. That's it.
All sponsors are through a Pro Bass shop, so there you go.
Yeah, dude. Cabela's, hit us up. If you want to be involved, Arkansas Slim, he will take any bet you have. Cash only, everything off the books, whatever you want to do. But no, when you hit me up with that yesterday, I was like, dude, Will, you are fucking gonna get it. Like, this is amazing. Like, it's gonna actually happen right now. And then when you told me about Saturday, I was like, that's a hell of a weekend. Like, you would have had both. You would have had, like, all your picks just hit. And then, the Oregon really the VCU thing. Which hopefully we don't see any more, like shutdowns of teams getting boxed out. Again, knock on wood, who knows? But COVID's still out there.
Yeah, talk about sad day for VCU fans. Thankfully, I picked Oregon in my bracket, and I actually was going to pick Oregon money line. So, it is what it is, and it's super sad. But hey, look, that's one game out of the 67 or 68 that were supposed to happen. I think we're on a pretty good pace.
Yeah, for the most part, I think it's come off pretty well. I didn't know, how it was going to go down as far as like all the teams have to go there, even the first 4 games. And just you have to stay there the whole time. And they have, like limited fans, whatever. But again, for the most part, it's gone off pretty well. And I'm just hoping we get all the way through without another team getting like just wiped out.
Yeah, lucky for Loyola, they're allowing fans in because they got the only one fan that matters apparently.
Are you talking
Sister Jean?
Are you talking about the GILF, Sister Jean?
Your girl, Sister Jean.
That girl was apparently in a wheelchair all over everyone's brackets on Sunday.
For real though. For real.
My man's a beast. Illinois wasn't ready for that smoke. Sorry, Big Ten. Shout out to Tyler, though. Like I said, Michigan's still alive. So you got that.
Somehow. We'll see how that goes. But, yeah, I don't know, man. Loyola's looking good, dude. They just dominated Illinois. Like, I don't know. I think maybe they all gave up losing for Lent. I think that's what happened.
Well, I want to be honest with you. I really didn't hear too much of Loyola until about, 3 years ago now? When they made
that run. Yeah.
Yes, they went on that wicked run. I thought, wow, you go and look at the page, and then you see the reports of Sister Jean. I want to know what her diet plan is. I want to be 101 years old. I think we all do.
She eats dubs. She's on that James Winston diet plan. She eats dubs.
That's Jameis Winston.
Yep. You gonna eat this dub? Come on. Who's with me? And then everyone's just like, is this guy good? Like,
God, Jameis, we need him playing. Those comical turnovers that he has. It's gold. That's what we need.
Like when he's slanging it, someone's gonna catch it, either his team or the other team. But he's all action, like
no
all picks or
TDs.
Yep. I'm sorry if I missed it. Just one more thing. Favorite moment of the weekend so far? I mean, obviously, technically it ends tonight, but it's Monday. Everyone got back to work. I mean, what would you say has probably been the highlight?
For me, well, even though RIP, they're gone now. The Mean Green North Texas jerseys, fire! Like I want one. I need to have one in my life. I'm probably gonna try to get a bootleg one somewhere, but now they have the Nike all green, white, Mean Green. Come on.
You can hang it in the back behind you too. It'll go well as a backdrop.
Yeah, it'll fit perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go with being a Michigan guy and all. And I won't even say apologies to your boy Dale, but definitely the Oral Roberts University knocking out the Buckeyes. My favorite moment of the weekend.
Damn, that's hateful.
Oh, Oral. Who would have thought?
Hey, always room for more Oral, man. Always.
Everyone loves Oral.
Everybody does.
There was a brief moment in time when I was like, dude, Oral and Colgate could come together. That could be, like a friend of the program, Justin, pointed out, the toothpaste classic. But alas, Colgate.
Yeah, but then after that, we could have still had Oral and Moorhead in the Final Four, but that's not going to happen. So
it was too beautiful for this world.
Yeah. What about you? What's your moment of the weekend? Other than hitting a 7-leg parlay.
The 7-teamer is definitely up there. Probably right next to Texas losing. The fact that there was a graphic at one point in the tournament that every Texas school that had qualified for the tournament and was in had won and was still alive except Texas.
Texas is backer than ever.
Always back.
Horns down, baby. Horns down.
Yeah, the fact that that's still like a running joke, that's amazing. That and Oh man, there was a lot. I gotta go. So in the upsets, right? I mean, obviously we just touched on it, but Oral. I mean, how much was Oral trending on Twitter? At one point, was there like 2 million people talking or hashtagging Oral at once? I mean, and because we're all mature adult men. I mean,
Of course.
Yeah, of course. So, and I'll be honest.
Nothing but highbrow humor here.
Yeah.
All highbrow here. We don't go for that lowest common denominator.
The Moorhead State, that was a good one. The Final Four, the Moorhead and Oral would have been an instant classic.
That would have been, yeah. Must watch for decades to come.
Yeah.
But I have thoroughly enjoyed, even though it's a different version of what March Madness is. We lost it last year, and even you have to be in the bubble, whatever this year. The same kind of like feeling, the magic is back as far as just like watching all these games all the time. So I think they've done a pretty good job. I hope everyone, VCU wise, ends up okay.
Yeah.
But and I hope there's no other teams that get just sent home because of whatever might happen. But for the most part, I think they've done a great job, and I've just been like completely entertained the entire time.
Yeah, I can't get enough. I've been trying to figure out an example. It's like the one that got away. And you thought, man, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't appreciate it.
I didn't know what I had.
Right.
They go away. It's like, wow, maybe this is it. They come back. And it's like, oh my God, yes. And everyone took advantage. And it was, it's just crazy, and we keep harping on it, but I don't know. I mean, I had this conversation a couple times in the pod, not to go the geographical or political shit, whatever, but like the last year obviously was a lot to handle mentally
for everyone.
For everyone.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like we kind of take this step back. It's like, wow, we were just kind of in one of the craziest chapters in U.S. history. It wasn't like when you're in high school being force-fed it. It was like, oh, wow, I'm like witnessing it. I'm partaking and participating. And then to step out, I'm like, okay, we are this much closer to normalcy. We have baseball coming up. We're going to have the NBA Finals. Hockey, you're supposed to have the Olympics this summer. And you see, specifically in San Diego, I'm not sure how many San Diego followers you guys have versus out-of-staters. But for us to be in that purple tier, I think it was, now we're kind of shifting to red. We have bars reopening, gyms reopening. Oh, God, it's been a lot.
It's gonna be a weird thing.
A signal of just like I said, especially like Will said for San Diego, we can still screw it up. So don't be a dumbass out there. But just having some kind of sense of like things that are normal again, it feels really good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a weird thing in the future. Like think of like, I don't know. Years down the line, you have kids and they're watching the NCAA tournament. Their team gets knocked out in the first round. They're complaining. You say, look, in 2020, I didn't even get an NCAA tournament. All right, so stop complaining.
No.
Quit your bitching, son.
Well, it was just, I don't know. But then again, if it wasn't for 2020, I don't know if we would have this platform or you guys had this platform for me to speak on.
We wouldn't have the show, that's for sure. We would not have the show. I mean, it's freaking in the title of our show, Quarantine Kings.
That's what makes it special, though. That's what makes it special.
There's always a silver lining that can come out of anything. So, I've been appreciative of that, but also as you get these little like sort of nuggets of like going back to like normal life, the tournament, things like that. It just you appreciate it more, kind of in a different way. So. Like, it does feel good, and I hope they can just finish out the tournament. I hope there's no more teams that have any kind of problems, with infections or whatever. But so far, I think they've done a great job, so I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been a show, and, we still got 2 more weeks of it, which how they pulled this off in one city is crazy. Or state, I guess, however you want to clarify it, since they're all spread out like hundreds of miles. But Yeah, it's good. And then I'm sure you had other topics to get to, just really fast too. Sorry, it's nice to talk to you guys again.
Of course, Will. Always welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
One last thing, the Rockets. I'm not sure, did they play tonight? I know at one point they were on a 20-game losing streak.
Yeah, that hit. I don't know if they played today. Actually, let me effort that. Let's see. Houston Rockets.
Yeah, I don't know if they did. The fact that's I think they should be thankful for March Madness going on to mask that misery.
Oh, they got that dub, baby.
They won. They beat the Raptors.
Wow. Let's go.
They smoked them.
Let's go. H-Town, we see you. Keep hope alive.
Oh, yeah. But USC right now just kicking the mess out of Kansas. What happened with the Pac-12? What happened with that?
They were just waiting. They were just waiting for this.
I guess when it matters most, when the lights are brightest.
But before the show, Ronnie and I were kind of joking about it. We posited the theory that maybe the Pac-12 was actually just really good, and so they were just beating the hell out of each other and making each other look bad during the season. Now they're playing inferior opponents. They're just lighting it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they're in the 80s again. I mean, who was the commissioner? Larry Scott or something? I think his name was something like that.
He's on the way out. Yeah, well, Larry Scott.
He's on the way out. Maybe it was the players petitioning, saying, "Oh, maybe you know what? Let's just make it look like we play like shit, and then when it matters most, we'll turn it up and make it really
sandbagging bastards."
Yeah.
All the UCLA games I saw, I was like, "This team is trash. Like, I want to root for you, but I can't. Like, you guys suck."
Yeah, they're trash. They're trash, and then they turn good. The Big Ten is good, and then turns to trash, except for Michigan. So yeah, gotta love the tournament, man, because you can never predict it, and it's that's what makes it the best.
Well, especially this one, because like I said, you have teams that played like 18 games all year, and then you have 30 games. Like, I don't know what's going to happen when they play each other. Like, one might be way better. Like, who knows?
It just reinforces the whole idea of this. It'll never happen, obviously, with college football, but any team can beat any team any day. You know, that whole mantra. I don't know if I said that correctly, but any team has a shot. That's why you play the game. That's why you play the game. And to see it live, I mean, do you attribute to all these upsets to COVID and lack of practice and having to get nasal swabs up your nose? I mean, it was nuts how many favorited teams lost this weekend.
I mean, my thing with that is like, does it have some impact? Sure, but like everybody's doing the same protocols. Everybody plays on the same court. Like at the end of the day, man, you either get it done on the court or you don't. Like there are factors, yes, but at the end of the day, man, everybody's going through the same shit.
Yeah. No excuse.
I knew it was going to be kind of like mysterious because, yes, they have like, some fans there at certain sites, but it's still kind of like the same thing, like playing an empty gym. Like a lot of these teams, pretty much, a lot of them just played only the conference schedule. They couldn't do the traveling, do whatever.
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, what happens when they get together and like play each other? Who knows? Like when I was filling out my bracket, I was like, I usually don't know anyway. This one was like the most head scratching one ever. I was like,
who'd you pick to win?
Baylor.
Oh, okay. What about you, Tyler?
Michigan, but purely as a fan. Like I genuinely don't think they will win. That was just purely a fan. Yeah, it was a homer bracket.
Once you saw Juwan Howard get in that fight and get tossed, I think you got the idea.
Oh, he's about that action. He will let those hands go.
The name of my bracket is Juwan Howard's Fight Club.
But also, before we get out of here, I just want to give a shout out to me and only me, because this is not totally maybe. It's even better for me now because I'm solely in first place. So maybe I don't even have to ship out the shirt like Justin pointed out in the comments. I will save on shipping. I will keep the trophy, which is the shirt, for myself, and you can all go to hell.
Does that say sack and crack wax? Sack and crack.
Yes. Also, shout out to a new sponsor on the program, Human
Yeah.
Landscapers, out in Manhattan Beach. They are the home of the Sack and Crack Wax.
They actually have that registered. That is an official trademark.
They got a trademark on that thing.
That
But,
is incredible.
yeah, the logo is incredible. If I saw this on a road sign, I'd be like, I think I know what it means. But
There's just
all right.
there's so much going on at once.
But thank you, everyone who joined. I know we're running up against time. Thank you, Will. Hell
Thank
of a
you very
fucking
much.
weekend. Will,
Yep.
have a great week off the back of that win. Incredible. Just amazing. Really a triumph. Again, I just want you guys to look at it, drink it in, soak it in.
Oh,
It can happen. It can happen for all of us. Like, don't give up hope.
The man is hot on his pick, so if you want to know some future picks, check out what's on the menu daily.
What's
let's
on the menu
go.
daily? Hit up friends of the program. Will, obviously. Dale. Just check them out. You know, they got the audio podcast. They got the video things up on everywhere, pretty much. YouTube, Instagram. So shout out to Will again, and amazing win. I mean, it blew my freaking mind when you texted me that last. I was like, dude, this is gonna happen. Like, this is actually gonna happen. Like, you got it. So I was super happy for you, and thank you again for joining us, being a part of the program. But Tyler, do you have anything else before we, get out of here for the evening?
Nah, man. Just Will, thank you so much for joining, man. It was good. I haven't talked to you in a while, so it's definitely good to hear your voice. Get some, talk some shit, talk some sports, talk some betting. So thank you very much.
Yes.
That we'll have. Go
Thank
ahead,
you.
man.
No, just thank you guys. Thank you.
But yeah, other than that, I know we only talked this today. We'll catch up more shit on Wednesday. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you. We'll be back Wednesday. You know the drill. Keep the fire.
Keep that fire.